Alright, everyone say hi to Lily before she gets angry and wants to go away. Yeah, look at that belly. But, she's... Oh, yep, she's done. So we're gonna put her down now and start the video. Alright, hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about some stuff that I'm bringing to Japan, which is quite a lot of stuff, and to be honest, I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to fit literally everything I might be about to show you in my suitcase. So, yes! Anyways, I don't know why I'm out of breath, but let's get started. One thing I want to mention quickly is I'm gonna try to keep the clothes in order of like work clothes that I'm probably going to wear to work, or eventually buy some other clothes that are maybe more comfortable. I'm starting off with sort of formal clothes in Japan just because I'm not exactly sure yet what the typical everyday clothing style is at my schools, and no one's really giving me detailed information, and I'm scared to be dressed wrong when I get there. So I'm trying to dress high up at first to formal, and then eventually I'll buy other clothes or something to wear. I'll start with formal clothes and then go into sort of everyday clothes that I'll wear like around my house or shopping or something like that. And then I'll go into some miscellaneous items such as bags or shoes or anything like that. Anyways, let's dig into this suitcase I have over here. So let's see what the first thing is. One thing that I'm planning to wear to the orientation, most likely because it's going to be really hot in the beginning of August, and by the way, hopefully some of these clothes show up properly on camera because a lot of it's black. I'm not really a fan of colors, and in terms of formal clothes for Japan, I was advised you're not really supposed to wear really bright colors anyway. I have this skirt that I found. This is from H&M. Hopefully I can maybe try and like move back to show you. It's just kind of like a knee-length skirt, and I don't know if you can see, but there's like a bow you can tie up at the front. It's not really tied up right now because I tried it on and I didn't bother tying it up really nice like they might have in the store. There's a zipper on the back. I really like it because it's pretty flowy. I don't really like skirts when they're like pencil skirts and they're like stuck to your body, because I'm not really a fan of skirts in the first place. But because it's really hot and I want to try to not wear like really tight black work pants when it's like 30 degrees in Tokyo, I decided to buy one of these. Let's go to the next thing. Another thing that I got in relation to kind of like suits and formal clothes, especially when we're talking about the orientation that we're going to in Tokyo, is I got a black blazer thing. It doesn't have a button or anything on the front, but I was told by a few people that they have buttonless blazers and that worked out okay. It has long sleeves like you would typically expect of a blazer, but it's still kind of a heavy material, but it's not really bulky like a typical suit jacket or something is. And another blazer I have that I'm not exactly sure I'm bringing to Japan because it's heavier and it would probably make my luggage heavy and etc, etc. But I have kind of a more typical jacket that does have a button on it, if you can see it kind of shining in the video. This one has a typical kind of collar to it, and it's a thicker material. This is the jacket that I did wear to my interview in February when I had my JET program interview. Another pair of pants I have, I forget what these are called, but they're really, it has another tie at the front again. I believe it has pockets. Yes, it has pockets. And it's really like flowy. They cut off about like mid-calf length-ish. They're not full-length pants, and they're really, really flowy. So again, I'm trying to find clothes that are appropriate for summer, but also formal, and I can possibly also wear this to work if I need to. When I've been shopping specifically for Japan, I try to buy clothes that I can wear in different circumstances and hopefully different weather, especially summer. Because I want to load my suitcase with a bunch of winter stuff and I have no room for summer clothes. I have a pair of pants that are probably on the heavier fabric side, and I don't know if I'll be wearing these right away. But they're basically suit pants. They're kind of like a polyester material. It's not jeans or anything like that. Oh, there's cat hair on it already. All right. We're off to a good start. A couple of honorable mentions in terms of like blazers, cardigans, that type of thing. I have sort of like a long sort of polyester cardigan type of thing that's thin fabric and it has long sleeves. I'm probably going to bring this to Japan because it is, again, lighter fabric, and I might be able to wear this to orientation or something like that. It's pretty long. I would say it probably goes to like thigh length and it has a little bit of a cinch in the back. I don't know if I'd be able to wear this to orientation because it's not like a blazer-ish type of thing like everyone says you're supposed to wear. Anyways, that might be on the list for Japan. One thing I did at least want to bring to Japan because it is, I keep saying things are light, that's the word of the day, but this is a smaller blazer that doesn't have full length sleeves. Really, really light fabric. It's the lightest fabric I have so far out of my blazers. So in terms of a couple of work shirts I have a couple of shirts that I'm currently wearing for work here in Canada that I might bring with me just because I've kind of been struggling with finding shirts that have an actual sleeve on them that are actually work appropriate, because a lot of the shirts that are out nowadays with the current style, there's like a really deep V-neck cut, and I was told that for Japan it's kind of, especially in the workplace, it's kind of risque to have a little bit of cleavage hanging out, understandably. So it's really hard to find like circle neck shirts or anything like that. So one that I kind of found, and I'm probably gonna have to put like a tank top or something under it, it's kind of a regular t-shirt material, but it has flowers and like a beetle, or what is this? I think it's a beetle on it or something. So it's kind of a flowery design with some sort of bug on it. Pretty cute. It has a little bit of a V-neck. It's not too deep, but I'm probably still going to put a tank top under it because it's a little bit sheer and also it still kind of dips down. I bought a couple of white and black tank tops to put under these types of shirts as well, just in case. And another shirt I have that's a bit more on the formal side, and I'm probably going to wear it the whole time at orientation, and I'm trying to find a second shirt for this just in case I sweat through this one and it's nasty. But it's kind of like a typical dress shirt, except it's a tank top shape. It's a little bit of a softer fabric, so it's not the really rough, typical, typical shirt dress fabric. My brain is fried. My Canadian self is not used to really hot weather, so we're trying to pack to prepare for this. I have another pair of typical black pants I might wear as part of orientation or as part of a suit or something like that. And I bought these to wear to work as kind of a light cover, just in case I can only really find thicker strap tank tops or something like that for work, because I've heard you're supposed to have more of a sleeve on your shirts. I bought these sort of kimono-ish cut covers for shirts. We have little sleeves that come out like this, and it's really light fabric, so I figured I could just kind of throw this on top of a shirt or something just to kind of cover my shoulders up if I need to. And I also picked up a second one that's really similar in cut, but it's a different fabric. It's more of like a chiffon kind of fabric. It's even lighter than the one I just showed you. Again, sort of a flowery pattern, shorter sleeves like the last one. And it's about, both of them are about thigh length. They're not super long, but they're kind of like a kimono cardigan thing you can throw on top of a shirt. I believe that's finally it. One last thing I'll mention. Somewhere in this pile I have my work shoes that I'm going to bring because you're supposed to have indoor only shoes. So I picked these up at Soft Mock. These are Skechers shoes. They're kind of like slip-on runners. but they're really, really, really comfortable. When I tried them on in the store, I felt like I was walking on clouds, and I kind of wish I had another pair of these to wear around, just going around every day, because I don't think I have any shoes that are quite this comfortable yet. And I'm excited to wear these, but again, I can't wear these until I'm in Japan in my schools because they can't go outside because they have to stay clean. So I'll put those aside for now. Now, moving on to regular everyday clothes, I have a lot more of those right now, and I've actually kind of been bad and I've dug into some of those clothes already to wear because going into summer, I didn't have any new summer clothes. All of my clothes from last year were already old, and sometimes some of my clothes were actually 2 years old and they've been worn out, and I can't exactly wait until August to wear some of my summer clothes because it's getting hot. So I'll try to rip through some of these because most of them are sort of t-shirts, shorts, that type of thing. So one interesting piece of clothing that I haven't actually worn yet, just because I don't think it's been quite hot enough to where I can just wear a dress by itself, in my opinion at least. I got this from H&M again. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting to mention where the places are most of the time. I actually don't remember. But I have this sort of longer dress. I believe it goes down to your knees. It's kind of like a plant, snake, bug kind of pattern on it. It's a really interesting pattern. It's like a really long baggy t-shirt dress. Haven't had a chance to wear it again because I still have the tag on it, but I'm thinking of bringing this to Japan because it's pretty light, and I can just kind of throw it on and not really worry about it. I have a couple of these shirts that I got from Old Navy. They're supposed to be breathable shirts, which we're gonna need as much of those as I can get because I am definitely a sweaty person and I don't know how I'm gonna survive in my prefecture when it apparently gets 35 degrees and humid. So I have a couple of these basic shirts, supposed to be really breathable material. One's black, and then I have one that's kind of a darker gray. A common theme you might see with some of these clothes is they're pretty neutral colors, because I figured if I have kind of one of everything in like black, gray type of colors, or shades I mean, if I have those types of clothes, then whatever clothes I can buy in Japan would most likely match to the clothes I already have, because they're like black, gray, they pretty much go with everything. That's what I'm trying to go for anyways. And I have a couple of other shirts that I got from various places. This one is from Gap. It's just a t-shirt that's kind of a purple to white gradient color. Pretty cute. Haven't really worn it yet because I'm trying to preserve as much new clothes as I can. And we have another shirt. I've actually worn this to work a couple times with one of my flower kimonos that I showed earlier. It's basically just a pink shirt. It might not show up the color properly on camera, but it's a really light pink shirt. At the moment of what I have in my pile over here, I think I have some other shirts locked away in my dresser that I've kind of been wearing on and off. But moving into a few other things, I want to bring probably like 1 or 2 hoodies. I don't want to bring too much, as I've mentioned before, because I don't want to have a bunch of fall winter clothes when I desperately need summer clothes. I'm probably going to bring this sweater that I've had for about a year. It's a Ubik sweater from Ubik, because that's where I went to school. It's really thick and comfortable. I guess halfway through I can mention my jacket. This is probably the only jacket I'm going to bring because, again, it's Satan's armpit where I'm going to be moving to. But I just have like a typical black rain jacket that's really light material that I can put over top of a hoodie if it's a bit colder outside. A lot of my fall winter clothes I'm going to have to buy once I'm in Japan, just because we're trying to cut down the amount of suitcases. In terms of pants, I forgot to bring one of my other shorts down here, but a lot of the ones I have right now are jean shorts. So I got most of my pants from American Eagle, most of my pants and shorts from American Eagle. They're all basically the same style. I have one pair of shorts that's like dark blue. I have another one that's black. They're all sort of jean material. and I have another one that's lighter blue. Again, I know that these are probably going to be a little bit heavier feeling when it's really hot, but shorts are better than pants, and that's what we're bringing. I got these pants from Old Navy. I believe they're called chinos. They're supposed to be made of cotton and be a little bit more on the airy side compared to jeans. It's a light blue color. You're supposed to kind of roll them up at the bottom, and then they sort of cut off a few inches above your ankle. I also have a couple of leggings. I'm just bringing one each just to show you guys, but I have these leggings from Garage. They're full length, they're really comfortable. I've worn these types of leggings from Garage probably for like 6 years or more, and I always go back and buy new pairs when they get old because in my opinion they're the most comfortable ones I've found so far. I also have a few black pairs. I'm probably going to bring, I think, 2 of each, or at least 2 black ones. I know Japan isn't crazy about only wearing leggings on your body. They usually prefer a longer shirt or skirt or something like that underneath, but those are really comfortable and I want to bring those. A few other pants I have. Again, there's another black pair of pants that are kind of more of, they're not jean materials, these ones, but they're a little bit more on the casual side to wear out there. I wouldn't necessarily consider these closer to work pants. And then I have 2 pairs of jeans. I'm just going to show you one pair, but they're pretty much the same color anyways. I have 1 pair of full length jeans that I'm going to bring. Possibly going to bring 2 pairs of jeans. I'll see how it all starts to fit in my luggage. I at least want to bring 1 regular jean and then the black one that I just showed. Yeah, I did bring the shorts that I was saying I didn't bring. So I have 1 lighter pair of blue shorts that are a fabric material from Old Navy again. From Gap. It seems like that's where most of my clothes seem to come from. And by the way, if I said Old Navy before, I actually meant Gap. Sorry. I have these black pants, but they're really, really light material. It's a really kind of flowy material that's full length. I might be able to get away with this as kind of work pants because they don't have anything else on them and they're not tight to your leg like leggings, so I feel like they might pass as work pants. We'll see. I wouldn't say it goes as far as a suit, but we'll see how far we can make those go. I suppose I can show you my shoes next. The ones that I really want to bring, at least, other than the work shoes I showed you a minute ago. I have some black Toms that I want to bring just because they're comfortable and I've always worn them out. Some Adidas shoes, I've already worn them for a couple of months, but they're still holding up pretty good, so I wanted to try to bring those with me to Japan. And we have a pair of Blundstones. So these are definitely heavier than like summer shoes, but I want to try to bring these for the winter or fall because apparently it's hard to find sizes that are over size 8 women's in Japan because apparently Japanese people have really small feet. So I want to bring these in preparation for fall at least, to give me a little bit of a head start when the weather starts changing. I already have had these for about a year, but I want to plan to bring them with me. For a couple of bags, I have one that I recently bought. It's kind of heavy because I already have like my wallet and other stuff in it because again I've started to use this already. I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Jansport. It's the Jansport bag. It has it's black with gold it's not shiny. It's supposed to be kind of like a shiny gold heart design. I wanted to bring this because it's really light and I can kind of roll this up in my suitcase for later. I wanted a nice backpack I could use to bring stuff to school or travel around with. The bags that I mentioned that I'm going to bring my laptop to Japan, or on the plane with, is this one. I got it from Amazon. It looks like a typical laptop bag, which, I mean, you can use it for the laptop because it has a sleeve on the inside. But you can also actually, in this zipper in the back, you can take straps out and you can turn it into a backpack, which is really nice, which is probably what I'm actually going to do. Alright, we're gonna have to get used to this whole, we're gonna have to get used to my phone storage because, again, it stopped recording because it ran out of space. I did delete some extra music that I don't need anymore off of it, so hopefully we can finish getting through this video. The other things, I don't really have too much to show you otherwise. Definitely past the clothes that I wanted to show you. But in terms of little other random stuff, I have, well, actually one piece of clothing that I have left to show you is a hat. I'm really not a hat person, but I do know it's supposed to be hot, and I don't want to get heat stroke or anything like that, so I kind of sacrificed and bought a hat. I don't think I look the best in hats, especially with this hairstyle that I'm trying to grow out. By the way, I'm trying to grow my hair out. If you think I look weird with this hairstyle, you don't have to suffer with me for so long, but I have this hat that I think looks okay. It's definitely, you can make it a bit looser. I think it's a bit too tight right now. I am pretty okay with this hat. I don't think it looks terrible. Again, not really a hat person, but I bought it just so I don't get heat stroke when I'm in Japan. This is something that my grandma recently bought me. I have this little cat coin purse because I have traveled to Japan before in 2012. You end up with a lot of change because it's a cash-based society. They're not really huge on debit cards, credit cards, that type of thing. You usually carry apparently at least about $300 Canadian dollars-ish of change on you at all times. And when you pay bills all the time, you end up with change. So this will be really good and kind of cute, so I can actually be motivated to use this. In terms of traveling and kind of the first little while of being there, I have this money belt that I recently got. Believe it or not, I actually picked this up at Shoppers Drug Mart. If you're not really familiar with the money belt, it's pretty similar to a fanny pack. It has a strap on this, but it's really thin. It's meant to like suck to your body. I mean, not up here, but I'm sitting down. But you put it like down on your waist, and you put some bills of money that you're trying to hide from people in here, because we're supposed to bring approximately about $2,000 to $3,000 Canadian to converted to yen, which I believe is, I'm trying to count my zeros, I think that's about 300,000 yen. Again, we're not the best at math, but you kind of minus 2 zeros from yen and then you get dollars. Again, we're supposed to bring about a couple $1,000s worth of yen. So trying to hide it like this because I'm scared about bringing that much cash on my body. In relation to money and wallets, I again found this at Shoppers. It's kind of giant. I don't know if you can see the relative size. It's bigger than I'm used to in terms of a wallet, but it looks really useful because it has a slot for your passport. And you can actually zip it up so you don't lose stuff that you put in here. So there's a little pocket to put your passport in so you can easily reach it when you need to show people, because again, moving to Japan, we have to have our passport on us at all times, so it's nice to have kind of a wallet like this. It looks like there's like a pocket here to put maybe like different passes or something. There's another flap to maybe put some money bills, and there's like a coin zipper here, and then again you can zip it up so you don't lose literally everything in here. It's really light, even though it's huge, it's pretty lightweight, so I don't think it'll weigh my backpack down too much or anything, but I just saw this today and I thought that would be useful. One thing I also got that I'm sure a lot of people will need is a travel adapter. In Canada, our voltage is very similar to Japan. I believe it might be the other way around, but I believe Canada is 120 watts. Is that the measurement? I'm not very good at this. It's 120 I think in Canada, and then it's 100 in Japan, so our voltage is really close in numbers, but Japanese prongs on the electronics usually just have two square ones. They don't have a third grounding prong. Is that, again, the proper term? I have no idea, but hopefully you know what I'm talking about. But I needed one to at least convert to the three-pronged cords that I have. Like my laptop charger has the 3 to actually be able to plug it into a wall in Japan, so I have one of those. One thing that I don't have next to me right now is I want to bring, I'm really bad at knowing what the proper term again is. I want to bring a power strip, I believe it's called, to plug into the adapter. I've heard that's what some people do. To be on the safe side, I probably won't plug literally everything into it because I'm scared it'll make a fire or something with the voltage. But I want to bring a power strip so I don't have to just sit there and try to charge something one at a time. A few other stuff that's a little bit boring that I need to bring is I have about 3 months worth of my medication to bring. I have already filled out an application for the Yakan Shomei to import more than a month's worth of medication to Japan. If you guys don't know, I have colitis, which is essentially chronic ulcers in the intestine, so I have these pills for them. This is 3 months so that I at least don't have to panic too quickly when I'm in Japan to find a doctor. Eventually I'll have to get a Japanese prescription, but this will at least tide me over. And then of course, one thing that two things that we all need to bring are these books that the consulate gives you. There's one that's kind of like workplace Japanese. I kind of browsed through it a little bit and it looks pretty useful. It's actually stuff that you might use at your job instead of a bunch of random stuff like how to buy a purse or something, which I guess is technically useful, but sometimes in the textbooks it doesn't have extremely relevant information. And then we have a physical copy of our general handbook, which is supposed to tell you all about like taxes, visas, what happens when you get a return notice for your mail, like you missed the mail, so you have to go take the slip to the post office to pick your package up. Useful. There's also a digital version of this online, but they tell you to bring both of these books with you to Japan, so you have something physical, I guess. The nice thing about this is that the general handbook is in English and Japanese, so if you find a topic in English that you need to find out more information about, you might be able to pull up the Japanese page that's right beside it and get a Japanese person to read it and maybe try to help explain something better to you, which I thought is pretty useful. Of course, they won't really know how useful it is until I'm there, but it looks useful. At this point, a couple of other honorable mentions that I don't have with me yet that I can think of off the top of my head is a couple of foodstuffs that I wanted to bring, such as a couple of those Knorr vegetable soup powder packages, because I have a family soup recipe that uses the vegetable soup packages in the recipe. So I want to bring a couple of those because they're small and they're not going to take up much space or weight in my luggage, so I want to bring those. I also need to buy a bottle of Tylenol to bring with me. I only have like a little baby one that I kind of carry with me sometimes. I don't use Tylenol all the time, but it's definitely nice to have, especially when Japan, I've heard, doesn't have very strong medication. Also, I want to kind of top up some stuff that I already use, like mascara, maybe a couple things of makeup. I'm not a huge makeup person, as you might be able to tell from my face. I definitely don't shop away at Sephora. I also haven't picked up any omiyage yet. I'm not really sure what to get because a lot of the stuff is really heavy when in relation to Canadian souvenirs. Like, for example, it'll be like a freaking huge snow globe or something, and that's glass and really heavy and delicate, and I don't want that to smash and break all over my suitcase. I'm trying to figure out some sort of candy that most people would like. I was thinking of Werther's, but apparently that idea got shot down in the Discord chat, so I don't know about that anymore. I'm trying to keep my eyes peeled for something like maybe some sort of special tea flavor or something. Again, haven't bought those yet. I'm trying to find that out. But otherwise, I believe that's it for this video. If you have any special things that you're bringing to Japan, maybe let me know in the comments. Give me some more ideas of stuff I might need. We only really have a month left before we leave. If you are Canadian, maybe let me know if you found any interesting souvenirs that you're bringing. Yeah, I believe that's it. Anyways, thanks for checking in again, guys. One thing I want to mention is I might not be uploading very frequently right now just because I don't have a lot of stuff to film. Again, I'm not going to be in Japan for about another month, and then I want to try my best to make more frequent videos because this is what this channel is about. It's about Japan and my life in Japan. Still in Canada. We're still waiting to leave. Yeah, if you would like to follow my journey, please subscribe if you would like to. Maybe leave a comment if you are in the JED program or any other English teaching program in Japan. Let me know where you are, where you're going to. I really like to read any comments you guys leave. I don't really have a schedule right now, as I've mentioned before. I do want to try to set up an uploading schedule once I'm in Japan, but my first month might be really crazy setting up a whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, I'll sign off for now. I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you for watching this video again. Bye!